I can see a big smile on Angel's face.
Yeah.
Very nice, very nice.
Yeah, nice to see you.
Well, great to have you all join us. Thank you very much, Angel. We have Andy here. He's actually in Taiwan, just like me. Then we have Tuko. She is in the Bay Area, San Francisco Bay Area, in California right now. And
Okay.
then, of course, I assume you're in Seligman, Arizona, right, Angel?
House
Wow,
66.
that's the place that we long to be right now.
And I am in the
Okay.
building where I was born.
Same year when Route 66 was born, right?
That's right.
He's a little.
Well, I believe they christened this road November 1926, and I was just born a few months later. I saw the grapes of wrath during the Depression. 250,000 people migrated from the Midwestern states to California.
How are you coping with this? I mean, how do you see the whole thing, which travel is restricted and people are weary and how are you doing? I mean, how do you
My wife and I haven't been to the store or the grocery store or the post office since this all took place. But we humans need to understand the time of the day and what we're doing here on earth. Are we here to make things worse, or are we here to make things better? We humans can do so much for each other by respecting each other, by understanding your fellow man. We cannot force or change the time of the day or what's happening, but we can contribute in our own way to get over this pandemic. When we were bypassed on 22nd, 1978, they built the freeway, our lives changed completely. So what did we do? Did we start moping and crying and wishing? And no, we went to bat. We made things happen so that we could live through those 10 long years when the world forgot about us. With this pandemic, this coronavirus reminds me so much of the 10 long years. But we overcame, and with this pandemic, this coronavirus, we will also overcome. But we human beings, one by one, we need to understand the time of our lives. We need to understand ourselves, and we can win very easily, or I'll use another term, we can overcome these moments. But we cannot sit here and cry about it. We have to do everything we possibly can.
describe how you felt when the bypass happened, and how you mustered up all the strength and courage to go on and endure for 10 long years? How did
The day that we were bypassed, the day that this town died, 2:30 in the afternoon, statistics has it that there were 9,000 automobiles using Route 66. And suddenly, traffic stopped. It is so sad to be forgotten. It is so beautiful to be remembered. My wife and I raised 4 children, 1 son and 3 daughters. And we thought we're going to have to leave Seligman. Our son Angel, our daughter Martha, our daughter Myrna were students at Northern Arizona University for 2 whole years during this period. So we couldn't leave. We didn't have money to leave. I have learned so much about myself and human beings since that day, September 22nd, 1978, I have learned so much about me and people. There's an old saying, stop crying, stop wimping, and try it again. You don't give up. If we had caved in to the idea that this is the end of us, we wouldn't be sitting here talking to you. You know, I grew up with 3 older brothers, 3 older sisters, and 2 younger brothers, right in this area here. Our parents taught us about working together, about using all kinds of tools. They taught us about making do with what you have. So when we were bypassed, those 10 long years, we made do with what we had. It is so sad. To me, it is so sad this time in my life to understand that so many human beings do not get the love, the respect, the consideration from their parents. You learn so much from your parents. And that's why my wife and I were able to survive this 10 long year period. We were taught to do with what we had, to not to give up. And at this precise moment, I have to tell you, we were bypassed September 22nd, 1978, and the traffic just went to I-40, because now they could travel on a highway at 70 miles an hour. On Route 66, you had to putt curves and 35, 40 miles an hour. But the traveling public got an I-4 of I-40, and by 1979, 1980, some of the traffic began to come back to Seligman. They stopped at the barber shop. It was a pool back then. And what I heard back then told me how to survive and keep living in Seligman. All men and women sounded the same. They told me, when I was a little boy, when I was a little girl, this has got to be the highway that my parents used back in the 30s. I says, you're looking for America of yesterday. You're looking for memories. You're looking for your tire marks of your parents. And that's where I got the idea of how to bring back the economy to Seligman. And my idea was to ask the state to make Route 66 historic from Seligman to Kingman. So I began to talk about it to my customers that came to get haircuts. I began to talk about it when I bicycle up and down Route 66 on my bike to anyone that would listen. What do you think? You know what they told me? It won't work.
Okay. They told you it won't work. Okay.
But I learned not to listen to anyone. I finally learned to listen to me, my wife, my children. So to make a long story short, I quit listening to anyone. I learned to listen to me. So that's when I call that now famous meeting for February the 18th, 1987, here in Seligman, Arizona at the Copper Cart, which is now a gift shop. Incidentally, we have 14 gift shops in Seligman. So we call that meeting. We formed the Historic Route 66 Association. My first letter signed by my first secretary, Dave Wesson, went to the Department of Transportation in Phoenix. And we figured, boy, here we go. Well, you know what? The Department of Transportation didn't listen to us either.
Oh, okay.
So what did we do? We stayed on track. We began to have meetings, monthly meetings from here to the Arizona-California border. there was nothing to have 45, 50 people at these meetings. So what does that tell you? We had the support of the people. I don't mean to get into politics or nothing like that, but when I was a young boy, teenage boy, history tells us in World War II, we became like one. When I gave Route 66 its historic rebirth, we the people became like one, and we did not look back. We did not give up. Finally, the Department of Transportation, they took the time to not ignore us anymore. They finally made Route 66 historic from Seligman to Kingman. Why? Only because we did not give up. And the world of today, the young people of today need to learn, quit your wimping, quit your crying, and try it again. If you don't try and try again, you're not going to succeed. You'll never know whether you can do it or not. And this is the message that the world in general is receiving. I have met thousands and thousands and hundreds of thousands of people in the last 30-some years. And one person that I remember so well is a young German lady from Germany.
Okay.
She was about 30, 35 years young. I'm still cutting hair. She walks into the barber shop. Angel, I've been wanting to meet you. And congratulations on what you have done. I says, wait a minute. I stopped her. It isn't what I did. It's what we the people did. She says, no. The message that the world is receiving is that you had an idea and you did not give up. What did you say?
Awesome.
Wow. And that is the message that these thousands of interviews are telling the world. Don't give up. Believe in yourself. Quit asking your neighbor, what do you think? Because I lived it. The world told me it won't work. I now live to help people. When families come into our place of business, I get permission from the parents. Of course, they have seen me on the animated movie Cars. I have had parents and grandparents tell me I have sat with my children or grandchildren, and I've seen the animated movie Cars a dozen times. So they're here to meet me, and that gives me the opportunity to talk to these young people and talk about not giving up. I have a project. You have a project, stay with the project. You will succeed. Simple.
Idea behind talking to you and Seligman about making the movie Cars.
John Lasseter, no doubt, had read, by that time I had probably been interviewed 200-300 times, and John Lasseter and Michael Wallace and a few other people had heard. Well, Michael Wallace interviewed me. He was the first one one of the first ones to interview me way back then. So here comes John Lasseter, the producer of Cars, with some people, and he interviewed me for a couple of years about Route 66, the history. Wow.
Yeah,
Memories.
Yeah, Cars parked in the your brother Juan's restaurant, the Snowcat Burgers. You have some cars back there.
Yes.
Like that's the barbershop. That's right on the 6. Yeah.
Yeah. So we were just talking about those cars, right?
Yes.
Okay, here's the one. Okay, here are the photos I took when I was in your shop, you see. So, Angel, first of all, I would like to say thank you very much, because I think this is a kind of privilege for me to have an interview like this. Because I was in your shop 3 years ago, and I believe you are not going to remember me. So here I would like to show you one photo to prove that I was in your shop with you. All right, and I'm sure you won't remember me, but it's a really very special experience. Actually, before I joined Harry's tour a package a tour package, that was my first time to join Harry's tour, and he was a wonderful guy. Believe me, I know you know him much better than I do, and this is the first time I feel so impacted because while I was a young I used to be young, right? I used to be a senior high school student, and Route 66 is part of my memory. And I never dreamed that I would have a chance like this to visit Route 66. And more surprisingly is that I got a chance to meet you in person. And that was really I never ever thought that I would have a chance like that. So it's really a privilege to have this interview with you, and I would like to attribute this to Harry, okay, because he plays a very important role in in this interview. All right, so I'm just wondering, Harry, what kind of photos would you like me to share with all of us?
Oh, I have an idea. Why don't
Yeah, sure.
if you bring it up on the Google map, then
Yeah,
we
sure,
can
no
show,
problem. All right,
you know,
to show where.
some
Okay, so here's the. So all right, so Harry, would you like to be our virtual guide?
barbershop right there.
Yeah.
Used to be barbershop, pool hall, now a memorabilia for a gift shop, memorabilia shop with all the goodies. Made in America souvenirs about
Made
the
in
road,
America.
the
And
logo.
I was so surprised. Actually, I can get into this his shop because here in Google Map, I can have a kind of virtual tour inside.
Here we go.
Oh, here we
There
go.
we go.
Yeah, yes, here we are. And I remember I had hamburger in your brother's a shop or a restaurant, right?
That's Juan's shop, which is, if you keep going just a little bit, we could show.
All right, sure.
Just keep going down a little bit. We could show the snowcap burger right there.
There's a
Yeah,
snow.
there it is.
This one?
Yeah, this is it. And
Yeah,
those cars are parked right behind this restaurant in the yard, like.
Okay,
Well,
yeah.
I'm not sure if you can enter though, but
Well, I don't think you can get inside. And I
okay.
remember I had a very delicious hamburger over there, and I
Yes.
really enjoyed it. Yeah, it's a
He-
lot
So,
of
he-
fun.
so see, this really
He-
brings you back to the good old days of America. From the
Yes,
into the shop and see all the photos and hear the music playing. Some Elvis music and some of the music from the 50s, the timeless classics, and
yeah,
the warm and friendly people in Seligman. And every time we go to the shop, everyone's so friendly, so happy to meet us and talk with us, and all of our groups stop by. Every time we want to go to the canyons from Las Vegas. So people who haven't done this, you have to, whenever you go to the Grand Canyon from Las Vegas, chances are you're going to be taking I-40, and it's a perfect stop in between Vegas and the Grand Canyon.
yeah, exactly.
So
I totally agree.
they offer us restrooms. They even offer free coffee. That's incredible, and it just reminds you of the good old days when people were not so mechanical, so to speak. Yeah, so it's such a wonderful experience. It adds on to any itinerary. And in fact, a lot of people say the most memorable experience will be, stopping by Route 66 and get it. It's like going back to memory lane. And for those lucky ones who have met Angel in person, they really, I mean, it's like when Angel comes into the shop, is the whole, it's like a light just shines in and everybody's just light up. And, Angel be smiling and, greeting people, and everybody just instantly feels all the joy and just become so happy. So I like to stop by on the way to the canyons and then back. Once we're done with the canyons, it's sort of like Las Vegas is the gateway city for a lot of the visits, like Grand Canyon, and people do go start from Vegas, go to the canyons, and then back to Vegas. So you can stop by, both ways, because it's the perfect time for a rest stop. Okay, and all the great souvenirs, all the memories you could find. So and you also have you can also order stuff online, right,
Correct.
Clarissa?
Yes, everything online is made in the USA. Our website is flashing on the bottom of the screen, so please come check us out online and in our gift shop. We look forward to seeing everybody.
Yeah, great. Yeah, so so even if you can't, I mean, people maybe in Taiwan, they could still order stuff and get your wow. Okay,
We ship all over the world.
It's a line dancing association in Northern California. Okay, so happy when Angel came in and talked to us, and the words of wisdom. I mean, she and Angel's humor. Angel's got a great sense of humor. The type of humor that warms you up. You know what I'm saying? Not the cold ones. Yeah. So it just instantly makes people feel so vibrant, just magical. Yeah. So you learn something.
Exactly.
I remember one time, Angel, me and Angel were standing in the shop looking at the folks visiting, and he pointed at them and he said, "You give me $1 million. What am I gonna do with it? Look at them. Look at the smiles. Look at how happy they are. This is like more than $1 million. That stuck with me. I mean,
thrilled to have the opportunity online to see Angel and his daughter. This is a really, really wonderful opportunity. Especially I hear your story, because every time when we visit you, even though you're so warm, we like to see you. We like shake your hands, and so we didn't have time. But today, I want to thank Harry for making this possible. Yeah, making this possible. Actually, the Grand Canyon is my favorite route. I've been there for several times. Every viewpoint is the highlight. Especially Angel, your shop is the most highlights to us. So I think it's very important that for everybody, the world to know. This is 66. Sorry.
You willing to take the time and meet with us this way, and hopefully we could do this again pretty soon, as Pico had suggested me that maybe we could set up a date where we can invite maybe hundreds of people to come at once. How everybody could come on at the same time and meet Angel this way, and
yeah, please come
and get
in.
inspired. Get inspired.
Yeah.
It's so uplifting, always, either seeing you in person or hearing you talk over the internet like this, always lights up.
It's a good topic, and Angel is willing to share his precious time with us. And like I suggested that we should have more people, to join, to hear this story. Okay. So that's why I
souvenirs, some of the logos. Those are very interesting.
Yes.
There are stories behind all the souvenirs and the logos, and maybe next time we can talk about that.
Definitely.
And how people can.
Correct.
Okay.
Everything made in the USA.
Yes. Yeah. Perfect. Yeah. That's how we want it, because when we toured the Route 66, that right there is America. It's the mother road. It's the main street of America, and it's the birthplace. So it's what what started everything. And by the way, Angel and Angel stories, including the family. When people go visit the American History Museum in Washington, D.C., when they go visit the section for transportation, you'll be surprised. Whoa, there's Angel right there. Angel's display right there, and Angel's story. So you're inspiring for people to all meet you at once, like this.
Is because I had a single thought 30 some years ago. People are so happy. That is priceless. To be happy, you can't go to the doctor and get a prescription to be happy. Either you're happy or you're not. And just because of that one thought that I would not give up, people are so happy, and that makes me extremely happy. It makes me so rich right in my heart.
Being stuck at home, which I could totally understand, but they got so used to being free and being able to travel anywhere, buy a ticket, go anywhere, anytime. They take it for granted. So it's a high desert. People who have been to Seligman, you're in the middle of the desert, and the town has what, few hundred people?
500.
500 people. Okay, and people start leaving. All right, and what you did, you weren't there just sitting there and complaining, not doing anything, but you had the love. You had the love for the place, and you had the grit, the determination. Even though when people told you, no, it's not going to work, you should give up, you should move, you should go elsewhere. You thought of an idea and you stuck with it, and you made it happen. And wow, for 10 years, I can't imagine, 10 years,
People don't know what it is to be forgotten by the world for 10 long years. And again, it's so sad to be forgotten, but it is so beautiful to be remembered.
Yes. Yeah. And it's whoever told you that it won't work. Okay. Thank you very much, Angel and Clarissa. All right. Thank you, Chico, for joining in, and thank Andy for moderating all this. And we'll see you next time.
Yeah, see ya.
You and your loved ones stay healthy and stay happy.
Thank you.
Same to you and your family. Thank you very much.
All right. See you then. Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Take care.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, Ken. Thank you, Andy.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.